Hey, Reflex. We just getting started.
Yo, what's good? It's Reflex here, and I'll be showing you how to make dark Southside beats from scratch. So yeah, let's get started. So yeah, again, I have another loop I just made. So yeah, let's just get started. So first, I open up Keyscape like always, and I just lay down like a simple pattern, and then I just sound out later. So this is what the pattern I made sound like. So yeah, pretty fire. Let me just break this down real quick. So first, what you want to do is go to View, Scale Highlighting. I was in minor natural, and I was in C. First thing I did was have this C minor chord right here, as you can see. C, skip a note, D sharp, skip a note, and I deleted this middle note. I just used this half step right here, the G and the G sharp, and I made this small rhythm like this. And this D sharp was just for variation. I literally just copied that over. So yeah, then I added this C note right here, and I cut it up right here. And then I copied it over here, but on this side I didn't cut it right there, just for variation. And this is what that sounds like. Yeah, pretty simple. Control A right here. If you Control A here, it only selects a note. But if you Control A here, it selects every note that you select. So if I select the C, it selects all the C's. If I select the G, it does all the G's. Yeah, just copied all these. Shift left click, Control down, and I moved the velocity for this one. Hit Alt R to randomize velocities, and that's how I made that pattern. Next, I switched out the sound for this fabric. It's just the default preset, and this is what that sounds like with no effects. What I did to that is I added an EQ just to cut off the lows, and then I added a halftime on default preset. This is what that sounds like now. Next, what I did is I went here to the mixer, and then I did Alt R just to render it into an audio file. And then in the playlist, I routed it to its own mixer track, and all I did was add a pan, man, just to pan it from left to right. Next, I went to SRX strings, and I got this violins preset right here, and this is what that sounds like without effects. Yeah, pretty simple. Again, I just messed with these half notes right here, and then right here, as you can see, it's half notes. I just came up with this pattern right here, and then I duplicated here, and I just did a little switch up. As you can see, I cut this note up, and then I used the half notes right here just to have a little variation. And I copied that over, and here, instead of copying this, I just copied this over like this, and I moved it down to the other set of half steps. I added this EQ, added this reverb, and I turned the mix down to around 34. And I added this fruity delay, so now this is what that sounds like. Yeah, it just adds more ambience. Next, I opened up this Keyscape, this LA Custom C7 Pop, and what I did was I went to pattern 1, Control C on this. I went to a new pattern, which would be the Keyscape, and I just Control V right here. But for this one, instead of having this C chopped up like this, I just had it normal throughout the whole thing. And then on the second half, I literally just did Control up just to pitch it up an octave, just so it has variation. And then for the root notes, I turned these up. And the last sound I added was this bass. It's from the ATL Culture, the trilogy. It's the Bass Motor by Mike Fuego. This is what the pattern sounds like. I did this basic pattern right here. And I literally, if I copy this over, as you can see, it's the same thing. I copied this over. I just copied it over throughout the whole thing, and on the second half, I had this switch up. Right here, I cut up the note and I pitched it up an octave. And at the start, I did this little slide. And the way you do that is, first, like I said, I copied it over. I cut it up right here. I did Shift left click, Control up. And then right here, I double click and click this button right here to turn it into a slide. But I just changed it up a little bit just so it doesn't sound too fast. Like that. Next, what I did was I routed all the main melodies into this bus right here, and I took off some lows with an EQ. All right, so for the arrangement, what I did was I had the halftime right here throughout basically the whole beat. And then on the verse or the hook, I made this one unique and I pitched it up an octave. So that's throughout the whole sample. And then I had the fabric in the first 2 parts, the first 16 bars. And then I switched it up on the second half of the hook and verse. I made this one unique, and I just had the chords. I didn't have the top line. And then for the keyscape, we start off with just the root notes. So also I took off the top note. And then coming into the hook or the verse, it has the piano notes on top. And for the strings, I have them far apart. And then the bass is just here for the intro. And then I just stemmed it out, and I went to the master right here. I clicked here, Alt R again, rendered it out, and then I pitched it up 300 cents. So now this is what the final sample sounds like. Alright, so we're in a new arrangement, and the way you do that is, I'm still in the same project. You go here, you click on it, and you add 1 right here. So yeah, let's just add drums to this. Try to find a new key. Let's just pitch this down too. That sounds fire right there. And the drum kit I'm be using is my Noir Volume 3 kit. It's still being worked on, but it's the kit I'm be using. So yeah, my drum kit is gonna have this essentials folder. It's pretty much like all my go-to sounds. And yeah, it's also gonna have all these unique sounds that I made. And so yeah, so you have a bonus kit. I'm sure you know all these sounds. And yeah, stay tuned for that. It's gonna be free, coming out soon. It's almost done, I think. But yeah, let's just add drums. Yeah, it's pretty fire. For the arrangement, I just had this little intro. I went to a little bridge. The hook, which is 16 bars, and then another 16 for the verse. And then for the hook, or for the intro, I just had the hi-hat, the kick, and the open hat. And on the second half, I added both snares in. And then for the first part of the hook or verse, whatever you want to call it, I had all the sounds except for the kick and the open hat. And then I brought all the sounds back in. And then for the verse, I got the snare, hi-hat, 808, but I cut up the 808 right here. And then the open hat. And then the second half, I copied that over, except I didn't bring back in the 808. I added the kick instead. And then I just copied over that over here, as you can see. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole beat. That's how you make dark beats like Southside from scratch. And yeah, if you like the video, just comment what do you want to see next. And yeah, that's it, and I'm out.